Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our Premier League Roundup show. We said we're going to have one more today, and it's great because we have a couple of guests on the show, which we don't have as much these days. But it's great to have a little bit of different opinions because I know you guys probably get tired of just listening to me all the time. But anyway, welcome Sagar, welcome Shashwat. It's great to have you guys back on the shows. It's been a while, actually, hasn't it? I think it's probably been about a year. I can't even remember last time I had you guys.
Yeah, hi Rohit. It's been a very long time, and even I missed coming to this show. So very
On.
happy to be back.
That's so sweet. That's so sweet. Yeah, thank you so much, Saga. Appreciate that. And Shashwat, welcome as well. It's great to have
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Hi, Rohit. Hi, everyone. So it is also pleasure to be back here again.
Yeah.
It's been
Are you
good
crying
after a
because
long time.
Arsenal are about to win the title? You're
No,
crying, like, oh my God, it's like an emotional moment. Yeah.
no,
You wouldn't
not
know. You
really.
wouldn't know from Shashwat's voice that Arsenal, are where they are. But yeah, Shashwat's busy because yeah, he's been watching Arsenal's rise to the top. But we won't start with that. Let's get into it. We won't start with that. Actually, we'll talk about something that's much more topical, and we'll talk about it because unfortunately we don't have Nishikant or Siddhante because that would be very nice to hear their thoughts on this. But Graham Potter, Shashwat, if you if you are Todd Bowley, how do you look at the situation with Graham Potter? Because obviously they backed him to the hilt now, and it looks
Mm.
like they don't want to back down from it. But if you were a Chelsea fan, if you were a Todd Bowley, how long would you give Graham Potter, considering what's happening? Would you give him till the summer, and see where it goes, or would you be like, no, this we gotta cut ties now? Where do you think that's going?
Yeah. So yeah, Rohit. So actually, currently, Potter is, as we have seen, that they are in a very bad run of form, and yeah, and at present he is under tremendous pressure. So in my opinion, if you ask me, as a Chelsea fan, it's definitely very frustrating. And if I was a Chelsea fan, I would have want him to get sacked immediately. But considering he has got just now, Chelsea have spent uh, a huge amount of money in buying some quality players, and at present Chelsea are rebuilding their team. I think if you see the starting 11, very few of the Champions League winning squad which they had are participating, are in the playing level. So they have bought Mudryk and also Enzo Fernandez, and they also have brought Joao Felix. So I think at present,
Mudryk, they stole him from
Mudryk,
us, no, didn't
yeah, yeah,
they?
yeah. And he- yeah. So in my opinion, I think if I am Todd Gurley, I will try and give him at least the summer because this season I don't think they will. They are currently 10th in the position, and I don't think the, the situation that Chelsea are having, I don't think they will even qualify for the Europa League, to be honest, because because they are currently short of confidence, short of goal, and the things are not working. So I think if I am Todd Gurley, it is exactly the same position which Arteta was in 3 years ago. Means we were, I think, 16th in the table once. So in that case, everyone wanted him to move out, but still the owners backed him, and he got the resources. He still is getting trying to build the team. So in my opinion, if I am as a Chelsea fan, it is frustrating. But if I am the owner, I will at least give him this summer. If Chelsea finishes seventh, which get the Conference League, then I will try to give him one at least the summer window after the summer. And if in the start of the Premier League, if this form continues for Chelsea, then I think Chelsea might look for the future manager, like a top manager. First, I don't think they have sacked Tuchel because he's a champion, means he's a winner, serial winner. So that was a very bad, it's one of the worst decisions in Chelsea football, because this season they were bound to struggle because things are not working. So in my opinion, one more at least till summer. If I was Todd Boehly, I will give him chance.
Yeah, I don't know if
Then
Chelsea fans agree with you on that one,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, I mean, if there are any Chelsea fans watching this, let us know what you think was Shasta's assessment. Sagar as well. Yeah, because it's an interesting point that you made about, of course, the transition that has happened and the players that are coming in. And it's actually a good point that he made as well, because by the way, 6 doesn't get you, 7 doesn't get you Conference League, 6 gets you Conference League, 7 only gets that if FA Cup winners have already qualified. Not confirmed yet. Probably City will probably win it, but you probably expect that. But just for pedantry.
United can also win.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no. Well, United could win. I'm just saying that I'm just saying that it's possible that a team outside of the top 6 wins the FA Cup, and then they'll get into the Europa League. But anyway, Sagar, I mean, is it possibly a conscious effort as well to think, maybe they think, if we don't want Europa League, we don't want Conference League, let's just try and see who the players are that we want to keep, and so he's keeping on doing all this tinkering with the squad in a way to go like, okay, this is the players I want to keep, and then maybe build in the summer. They've done that before. Do you think that's a possibility? It's a theory. It's a conspiracy theory, probably. But do you think
Yeah, it's a theory, and I think I don't think that's a situation because already Potter is under tremendous pressure, and not just from the management but also from the fans. He needs to deliver results, and he needs to deliver them ASAP. And of course, you need wins, and of course, league stage is league position is something which is a byproduct, but they need to start winning first. And maybe even if they start playing good now, they start winning, they can even qualify for the top 6. But at the moment, it looks a bit far fetched. So yeah, maybe he's trying some combinations, but I don't think that theory is, there's any possibility in that theory.
Yeah, well, there's always things, right? It is far-fetched, but I'm just thinking maybe that's how they're looking at it, because maybe, but because if you do qualify for the Conference League, it's worse than qualifying for the Europa League, some would say. But maybe they're looking at that. But you know what? Hey, Chelsea qualify for the Conference League, they win it, they become the first team to win 4 different European trophies. Nobody's ever done that. So
Exactly.
there is history to be made there, of course.
Yeah.
So hey, there's all sorts of things that can happen. I mean, their former manager Mourinho, he became the first manager to win those 3 European trophies. Chelsea have something there. And by the way, Conference League, I feel, needs a bit of star power anyway next year.
And Chelsea are a different beast altogether in European competitions. So even if they qualify for the conference, we shouldn't be surprised if they go on to win it.
They will win it. If they qualify, they'll win it. I don't think anybody can stop them from winning it if they qualify.
Exactly.
Can you imagine having Enzo Fernandez? It's like bring a bazooka to a gun, no one's going to win that one. But anyway, let's see if they qualify for it, of course. I mean, they still have a chance to qualify for... I think the Europa League might be far away, but we'll talk about that. But I just feel the Europa League now might be a little bit too far away. Conference League is definitely within reach, for sure. But anyway, the different matter they want to be in it. Let's forget about all that, and let's talk about the title race, because that's the important thing, isn't it? Let's talk about that. Sagar, I mean, I won't ask Shashwat this question, because Shashwat is always, I know Shashwat. I already know what Shashwat's gonna say, so I don't want to ask him this question now. But I'll ask you first. If you're looking at because it's interesting as well. Arsenal were about 10 minutes away from, or not even 2 minutes, like 4 minutes away from 2 points dropped. And then suddenly by the end of Saturday, they've actually gained 4 points, because City dropped 2 points. They got their 3 points, and then City dropped 2 points. Almost a 4-point swing, right? In some ways, I didn't think it was a decisive advantage. But how do you think this impacts the title race now going forward? Just seeing the fact that Arsenal have got, because if they lost on Wednesday, but they've kind of made up a bit of ground on that by what happened on Saturday.
I think this particular game week will the results of this game week will definitely have its impact on the title race, because not only City dropped points, that too against Forest, which was definitely not expected, and Arsenal, the way they came back from being 2-1 down, and they eventually went to win 4-2. That will not only play psychological, it's a morale boosting win, and besides, now they sit 5 points atop, and plus they have a game in hand. So I think it's Arsenal's title to lose now, because most of the tough fixtures are completed, if I'm not wrong.
Well, they've still got City to play. They've still got City to play. They've still got Liverpool to play.
That one match is there.
I think now both teams play the same teams. Like they've still got to play City, they've still got to play Chelsea, both teams. But But I think no. But I think
Liverpool.
Arsenal still have to play Spurs as well. They haven't played the second against Spurs, right? So they still have to play.
No, no.
Okay, yeah, the first derby is done, I think.
Yeah, first is done, but at City have already played Spurs, but Arsenal have not yet played Spurs, so that's left. And then I guess Chelsea, if you count that as a tough fixture, then Chelsea are still left as well for both teams. So that Spurs one is going to be interesting. What happens there? Sorry about the background noise. If you can hear something, there's something going outside. If you can hear that, I'm not sure if you can. But nonetheless, right, Shastro, coming back to you then. The thing is that I just feel now that Arsenal have it in their own hands, because even if they lose to City, they've now got that 2-point cushion. Assuming they lose their game, but even if they don't, they've got that 2-point cushion now. So do you think this gives Arsenal a bit of an advantage now in the title race as well? Just with the way that things are going.
Yeah, actually, this week means till the 87th or 88th minute.
It was
We
like
were looking
90th
at
minute. It was still the 90th. They
90th
got it
minute.
in stoppage time. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got that goal in stoppage time.
Yeah, and we got that goal, 2 important goals that could be very important, because Villa was always a very tough place to go. And as I said many times, that Aston Villa, Leicester, these two matches that we have away, and also we have some tough fixtures, Liverpool. This basically these two, because these two fixtures are happening just after we had some tough run of form, just 1 point from the last 3 games. So
Yeah.
that was very important, because Jorginho's goal was very, very crucial. I know it was, but the way he struck
Yeah.
the, and
I counted the Jorginho's goal as well. I mean,
yeah,
I said it was
yeah,
Jorginho's goal as well. I know.
yeah, and that little bit of mistake from Amy Martinez. So yeah, I think this, and the midweek result for City also, where they dropped 2 points, which was very surprising, because I expected them to win by 2-0, I think, 2-0. But that was a little bit surprising because.
Do you ever not expect City to win a game? So I mean, just like curiosity. I think you just expect City to win every game, even when they play Arsenal.
That's what
City are gonna
City
win.
are.
City are gonna win.
Yeah.
No, that's Shashwat. I'm not saying everybody, but I think Shashwat just goes, City are gonna win. City are gonna win. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
because
the jinxing that Shashwat is trying to do each week.
no, actually, City, the team they are at the moment, they might have gone through a little bit of bad patch. Means inconsistent, not bad patch, inconsistent results. Like they are not that like the last 2 seasons, but still they are a class act, and we saw that in the midweek, where they defeated us in the second half. They were flawless, and that's where we got defeated. So yeah, I think that means that this could be important, because we got the points, and we have 1 game extra in hand. So, but still, I won't say this is decisive, because we have got some very important fixtures still coming, especially the away fixtures. Fixtures you look at: Newcastle, Leicester, Liverpool. And also we have to face City. That's
I don't think
I
it's so decisive. I don't think anything can be decisive with 15 games left. I don't think you can say anything is decisive, but it does put the advantage back to Arsenal, which they probably lost in midweek. I felt like in midweek, I felt like City were now in the driving seat, and I think they've just kind of been, maybe they want to make it hard for themselves. I don't know. But speaking of inconsistency, it's a good point though, Sagar. What does the future hold for Kevin De Bruyne? Because for me, and I saw this, you need a goal towards the end of the game. And the one player you probably don't take off is Kevin De Bruyne, but he took him off. Pep Guardiola took him off. He's dropped him as well this season. He's not been at his best, admittedly. But where do you think there are probably some cracks, or maybe there's? I mean, if Pep can get rid of Cancelo, he can get rid of anyone. We feel like that. But is it possible that maybe De Bruyne is coming to the end of his time in Manchester City?
There's a very small possibility, of KDB leaving City soon, because he's a legend over there. He has been performing consistently since last many seasons. I think from the first season itself, since he came to City. So I think, of course, when you're such a top player, you are allowed to have a bad patch. But yes, this season he has been comparatively very inconsistent. And Pep, as we all know, he's a very ruthless manager, and Cancelo was no exception to that thing. So maybe, yeah, but given KDB's contribution to City, I don't see him leaving soon.
I think
At
this
least not
matters.
towards
Yeah,
the.
I suppose the question is he okay being a bench player if it comes to that, right? Because Cancelo didn't want to be a bench player, so he left. The question is whether De Bruyne sees himself as that. Some players don't mind it, some players do. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
But I don't think this season he'll be a bench player because they don't have a proper like-to-like replacement for him. Maybe in summer window things could change, but right now I don't see any threat to his position. But yeah, he needs to start performing because with KDB, there's a huge expectation, and especially when you have a robot in front of you to
Goal scoring
just
robot, yeah.
score. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, has Haaland impacted the game? That's a question for another day, of course, if we talk about Erling Haaland, but we won't talk about it today because otherwise we'll be on the whole show. But Shashwat, I got laughed for suggesting this a week ago when I said Liverpool are back and they look like they're back in that top 4 days, and everybody was just laughing, and and you know who you are. But anyway, but then they went ahead and they beat Newcastle this week. Now, okay, they were helped a little bit with the red card and everything that happened around it. Do you think they are back in the top 4 race now with that result? Do you think that puts them back in the conversation for a top 4 spot?
At present, I will say yes. But means they are, because the last 2 wins in that Klopp got. This was very important because before that Liverpool were having a same as Chelsea. They were sort of confidence. They didn't have a very good. They are having a very poor season, to be honest. But this suddenly the 2 wins, the Merseyside derby and the last week, because last game was very important because Newcastle away is at present is a tough fixture because they have got some top players, and to get that win under your belt, this is a little bit of statement has been passed that they are having a chance. It means they are, I think, at 8th at the moment, but they will improve because and they will have their top guns back like Jota. I think he will be back very soon. And
Jota's already
also,
back. Yeah, he played a little bit in
yeah,
the last game, so he's back. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Diaz is
like
the one they're waiting on. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
Luis Diaz.
Luis Diaz. But Gakpo is also in form, and that was important because he has scored 2 goals in midweek, in the last week. So that was very important because he was because when he joined Liverpool, he was all a little bit of off color last since he joined. But this will give these 2 goals which he scored they will give him a lot of confidence, and Liverpool rate him. So I think as still little bit far, but if they pull off some wins, because I think this week they have Real Madrid, and that is a big fixture because and if they somehow beat Real Madrid, then I will say maybe yeah they are back because they will be. I think Bobby Firmino will be also back in some days
He's
time.
back. No, he's back already also. Yeah, I think he started the
Yeah,
last game. Not
Van
starting, he
Dijk is
came on
back.
as a sub. Van Dijk is
Yeah,
back. They've got players coming back now, I
yeah,
think.
What about Thiago? How
He's
long
still
is
out.
he expected?
I'm not
He's still
sure.
out. Yeah.
He's still out,
yeah.
but I don't think it'll be too long either. So, but they've got Bajcetic, who seems like a good enough replacement at the moment. He's doing very well. So, they might
Yeah.
not miss him that much. Yeah. I mean, that Real Madrid game is going to be important. But the fact is, they made 5 points in the last week. They made 5 points on Newcastle, so they are slowly chipping away that gap. And I don't know, Newcastle
Yeah,
are losing form as well a little bit.
yeah,
Let's hope it
yeah,
continues for
exactly.
at least another week.
Yeah,
From a United perspective, from a United
yeah,
perspective, but you know what? They'll be back in form by Sunday. That knowing United's luck, they'll probably have
No, no,
Luis
not.
Karius is going to have a great game. He's going to have a world class game. It's going to happen.
Exactly.
But yeah, these things you never know. But yeah, but it's an interesting conversation thing about Liverpool coming back. I do feel maybe the break is going to help them as well. They're not playing as many games now as they were before. They're not playing in the FA Cup. They're going to have that break, so that
Yeah.
should help them. Sagar, staying on Merseyside, talking about Everton, another win for them as well. Should they have sacked Frank Lampard sooner? I mean, it seems like a rhetorical question to ask, but should they sack? Where would
Yes.
they be if they sacked
Yes.
Lampard sooner, right?
Yes. They should have sacked him a long way back. But okay, better late than never. And the results are there to see.
Yeah.
Sean Dyche, he's a very not a very attacking type of coach, but still he'll grind and give you those results, and he has that experience in helping teams to survive. Burnley, of course. So I think that Sean Dyche's appointment was a very smart move by Everton, and the result will definitely see good result for them by the end of the season.
Do you think West Ham should do the same with Moyes? I mean, now West Ham had dropped in as of Leeds. It's always like who's the next to be sacked, right? But do you think West Ham will pull the trigger, or do you think they'll hold off?
I think they'll give him a chance till the end of the season. One of the reasons could be because not many good coaches are available in the
Mhm.
market. The ones who are available
But
don't
Big
want
Sam
to
is
join
still
a
there.
club.
Big Sam is still.
Big
He's
Sam,
always
Big
100%.
Sam is always there. Yeah, he's always there.
Or Alan Pardew,
Like
maybe get Alan Pardew
since
back, right? But
yeah,
yeah. But that reminds us how old we're getting now that Big Sam is out of the picture. Alan Pardew is kind of getting old. This reminds us how old we're getting. Harry
yeah.
Redknapp is gone already.
Alan
But
Pardew, I don't even remember the last time when he managed in PL. I think that was with Crystal Palace, if I'm not wrong. Yeah,
no. He managed the other team as well. I'm forgetting. I think it was Huddersfield. Was it Huddersfield? No. There was one
No,
more
I
team after
think
Crystal Palace. It was a team that were losing. I think it might have been Huddersfield, and then they just went on and they beat Manchester United as well with the caretaker manager after that. I think it was Huddersfield. It might have been Huddersfield. It
okay,
might have been the
yeah.
other. I don't know
So
who it was. Someone in the comments could let us know who it was. But yeah, I do remember he managed the team for a little while. They
yeah,
didn't win
so
any games, so they sacked him, and then they got a caretaker manager, and he won a bunch of games, and they were like, there's like a whole thing. That was, I think,
yeah, so
Ollie's first like half season in charge, but that I think was the last.
so even he's been a very like out for a very long time. So I
Yeah,
don't think he'll be considered.
yeah, no, not
But
Alan.
yeah,
No, it won't be big,
I
big
feel
star. Yeah.
they'll continue with Moyes at least till the end of the season, and
Mhm.
let's see if their persistence pays off, like Leicester did with
Rogers.
Brendan Rodgers. Yeah, so let's see what
Yeah,
happens.
well, West Ham also got the Conference League as well coming up as well. So there is that as well. We'll see how that impacts with it. I hope they do make a good fist of it and they don't try to sacrifice it, because I mean they have a good chance of winning it this year. There's the competition in the conference. I don't know, but I don't feel like it's that high this year as it was last year when you had Spurs and
Definitely.
Roma and all those teams. I don't think they have it this year. So there is a chance. But anyway, I don't know what West Ham will do. Right, Shashwat. Again, I'll start off this with this one for you because one of the people who always gets criticized, we'll talk about Manchester United, is probably David De Gea. Because there's always talk about his distribution, and I've been one of them who's talked about it as well, his distribution not being good. But do you think the combination of distribution and shot stopping? Do you think there is an upgrade out there? I don't need names, but do you believe that there is an upgrade out there on him for Manchester United to look at in the summer? I'm struggling to think of who's someone who's as good as shot stopper and also as good at distribution, because I know people who are better at distribution. I just don't know if they're that good at being a shot stopper. But do you think there's an upgrade out there that United could look at? Do you believe
in terms of
they need to look at an upgrade?
at present, I don't think because David De Gea is back in form. I think because he had a very poor, means not at a very good season last year. Okay,
Yeah.
but last couple of seasons. But this season, I think he, along with Rashford, Casemiro, Bruno Fernandez, and means the way they are playing at the moment means especially because De Gea has saved against Barcelona. Also, he had a very good game, and also yesterday he made a very good save. So, in my opinion, and his distribution has also
Two good
improved.
saves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Two
yeah.
world
That
class saves.
two World
yeah,
Cup class,
yeah.
and 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 it is happening means since the start of the season. Start of the season was very poor first two games, but then once he got a better left back four, then the things improved, and now you can see the old De Gea form, means David De Gea form is
Mhm.
coming into his best. So I don't think personally United should look at a very good. Yeah, if they can get anyone, like Emi Martinez is at the moment the one. If you say he's a very good goalkeeper, but yeah, I think
Yeah.
if you guys can try, because he can be one of the options. But if you say I just feel David De Gea should continue for next season. I don't think United require a goalkeeper at this point because they have a better scope, better things. You guys need basically a striker. Maybe only the striker part I think is remaining, and maybe midfield in which you want to improve. So I think
Mhm.
that's.
Sagar, I mean, you were shaking your head when you said Emi Martinez. I probably would have shook my head as well, but I'll come to that. But what do you think make of all this yeah with the
Yeah, just regarding Martinez, I mean, he's the last person I want to see at
Are you still
United's
traumatized
goalkeeping
from the
spot.
World Cup, Sagar? Are you still traumatized from the
No,
World Cup,
no,
or
no, no,
just
no,
in
no,
general?
no. The World Cup is like, it's very recent thing. But I do remember a couple of incidents, last season when he saved a penalty of
Ronaldo.
Bruno, I think, or
Yeah,
Ronaldo.
Bruno. It was Bruno. It was Bruno. Yeah, he
Bruno.
was
Yeah,
saying give it
yeah.
to Ronaldo. Yeah, I know. I
So
remember that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that's the day he got into my head. So maybe, and yeah,
So
I'm
it's
not a
true.
very big fan of any Martinez. So yeah, maybe we
Do
can
you
avoid
think
that.
there's an upgrade out there? Do you think United need to look?
I I used to feel the Diogo guy. I'm
Yeah,
forgetting his
from
name from
From
Porto.
Porto, right? Yeah.
Porto, yeah, yeah. So statistically he seemed very good, but in the World Cup he made a few disasters. So
Hmm.
yeah,
I
now
think
I
that's
am
what it
very
comes down
skeptical.
to, right? It comes down to the fact, do you have somebody who's got the distribution, but also the shot stopping ability? Because Ederson is a
Exactly,
class
exactly.
distributor, but he's not a shot stopper on the same caliber. I think maybe Allison is probably the only player
Allison
Yeah.
is the
who
world's
comes.
finest goalkeeper for
Yeah,
me.
he's probably the
Yeah,
only one
his
who comes
distribution.
close to
Mm,
having both of them. I don't think he's that good a shot stopper as they are anyway, but I do think he's
mm.
probably the closest you get to having the best of both worlds,
Yeah,
so to speak. But he's never
yeah.
coming to
If we
United, so you're not getting him. So realistically, who do you have,
obviously.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I trust Ten Hag, so maybe he has someone in his mind.
I think he's going to
Let's
keep the
see,
hair. I think he's basically decided, I'm not going to
at
get
least for
him
one
to be.
season.
Yeah, I think he's just realized I'm not going to get someone who's
Mm.
going to, he's not going to make passes. So what I'm going to do is, he's given him the license to go long. If you need to go long, just go long. Like don't take risks with
And
it.
he's doing a good job,
Yeah,
shooting it long. So
yeah.
maybe he'll continue for one more
There's
season at least.
there's
That's what I
lessons in
feel.
there's lessons in there Ten Hag, and there's a Pep Guardiola story there as well. But anyway, we'll leave that for another moment. I wouldn't mind Emiliano Martinez at the club if they was not in form. I would do it definitely. There was a time when I was a big fan of Emiliano Martinez. I think a couple of years ago when I just started the channel, I also actually asked Siddhan, would
Mm.
Chelsea consider taking Martinez because they needed a goalkeeper at that time. They went for Mendy in the end.
Yeah.
Why not make a 20 million pound bid for Martinez, because I thought he was a fantastic goalkeeper, and Siddhan just brushed it off at that time. So I liked him, and he's a bit of a shithouser. I do think, and this goes back to the game against Arsenal as well. I think he's now gotten too carried away with his shithousery, and I think he focuses more
Mhm.
on that than on his game, and he
Yeah.
Exactly,
focuses too much on
exactly.
the psychological aspect, and so therefore he makes the odd error he makes them, and it makes it much worse. Like the goal that he conceded against Arsenal, the one with that hit his head back. It's a very unfortunate thing that happens, but people
Mm.
made it became a big deal because of what he was doing
Yeah,
before
it,
that.
it,
So
it could have happened to any good goalkeeper, but it
it has
happened to
happened.
Martinez, so people obviously, they are
Yeah.
going
Yeah, he
to
was doing
make
the
a big
dance,
deal
right? I
out
think
of that.
Shashwat will probably know
Yeah,
it. He's doing the dance.
yeah, the dance,
Yes.
the
So
dance
that is something
will
that
haunt him always.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a quality goalkeeper. There's no doubt about that.
Mm.
It's just he's kind of lost focus on his game, but maybe that's how he plays. You can't really take that away. Final question for you, Shashwat. We'll end after this. Do you think Spurs are better without Antonio Conte managing them? Because you got Stellini right in there, and they beat City now. They beat, I think he was not there for this game as well, and they beat West Ham. Does it feel like maybe they're better off just without him in the dugout? Like maybe just let him do coaching and then let the in-game be managed by his assistant? What do you make of it, or do you think that's just ridiculous talk? Because sometimes you have conspiracy theories and it feels maybe it is true, but I don't know. What do you think?
Mm, at present events, I just think that Antonio Conte is very vital for Spurs because I think maybe Spurs have gone through a very bad means not the results have not gone in their way, but he is someone who has managed top clubs and he has won trophies. So in my opinion, yeah, the gameplay has changed a little bit. Now they are much more Vince Conte's style of game is that he's little bit of defensive,
A little bit.
but yeah, yeah, he's defensive a little bit, but which is very unlike Spurs because Spurs have got some very good forwards. Means and they can go through. Means as you have seen in Pochettino's time, as well as Jose's time, it was not that good, but still I think he did a good job at one point they were top of the table. I
Yeah.
remember,
Mhm.
2 seasons ago. So yeah, I think
The COVID
Spurs.
season, yeah.
Yeah. So in my opinion, I think Antonio Conte this season I felt like something is missing. I think maybe the health issue which we saw Conte.
Mhm.
So maybe that's the reason why he was not able to concentrate on wins, because health is a very important part. Because if you were, so that's why I think maybe he's not able to concentrate on. So and the team was little bit down, and you can see that Son was not in the best of form. So once comes in the form, then Spurs will be a different team. They have a team. They have Kulusevski and Kane and Son who can play, who can be a very good player. Means top
And
players. These are
Richarlison as well.
Richarlison, yeah. So as much as I hate that guy, but he's a talented man. He's a very good. He's a little bit arrogant,
You
just like
you
Emi
you do
Martinez.
know, right? Richarlison
Yeah,
is yet to score a goal, and
yeah,
we are already 24 weeks into the
yeah,
Premier League.
But how many
He's
games
yet
has
yeah.
he
to
started?
score.
He doesn't start though much, does he? And he's been injured as well.
Mm,
I do think he's not worth 60 million pounds. I think that was just a ridiculous fee that they paid for
yeah.
him. But
But yeah, Richarlison for Brazil and Richarlison for Spurs, completely opposite.
Mm, yeah.
yeah,
I
some
mean,
players
I
are
don't
better for
know.
their country than for their club, right?
Mm,
That's just
mm.
normal. You can play.
Gameplay,
Mm.
I think
But
tactics
yeah, Rohit,
changes.
as you pointed out, since Conte is out for his surgery, and I think he's recovering now. Um, yeah, Spurs, unfortunately, they are looking better without him.
Yeah,
The assistant manager
Stellini, I believe. Yeah,
still in,
Stellini,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
So yeah, they are actually playing well under him.
Mhm.
So I don't know, if Conte's absence is the reason.
I do. Yeah, I do get a feeling
But
that
yeah,
yeah, that
Spurs definitely do look a better side off late. Yeah.
yeah, I do feel that Conte is a bit checked out. But here's the interesting thing. See, we talked about Liverpool being in the race for top four. Spurs are actually ahead of Liverpool in the table. They're not that
Mhm.
far of Newcastle at the moment. Yet we never. It's almost like inevitable that nobody thinks that they will qualify for.
Technically Spurs are fourth right now. Newcastle are fifth.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are already in top four.
That's a fair point. Yeah, they're only top four, and yet we're not even talking about them being in the top four race or whatever. Like it almost
Mm,
doesn't. It almost and yet they qualified for the Champions League last season as well. It almost feels like Spurs never get mentioned as such, and maybe that
yeah,
is a bit unfair of me to do
yeah,
that. But I don't know. I just there's something that you feel about Spurs. They've been games where you feel there's something lacking, that there's something not right, and you just wonder it's like a house of cards. Is going to fall apart like it did against Leicester. I don't know. Maybe that's what we call Spursiness, right? Is that's the term that we use. Anyway, okay, final questions for you guys. A quick answer. Shashwat, we'll start with you. Who was your player of the weekend?
Player of the weekend for me was Rashford, because he's scoring every week. And since every week whenever I'm seeing Man United play, he's scoring, and that is why I will. And he has improved his play very much, because he is now he's scoring against Barcelona, which is at Camp Nou, and now he since every week he's scoring. So he has improved a lot, and now he is a very vital player for United. If and Sancho also is improving, but I will go with Rashford. So
Rashford for the player of the weekend.
yeah,
All right,
yeah,
awesome.
for me.
Yeah. All right, Sagar, who's your player of the weekend?
For me, as far as the PL is concerned,
That's
it
Premier
was
League.
Bruno. Yeah,
Bruno. Yeah.
so because Bruno had not a good game at Camp Nou, but yeah, in the Leicester match he was fantastic. He provided 2 assists, and the passes which he was making, simply amazing. Like I was blown away. I was so happy to see that Bruno back. So for me, he was my player of the week.
Yeah, I think United turned a few heads this with the performance that they put in right over the weekend. They did, and I've consciously not asked about the title hopes, because I know that that's something that just takes a.
Good move.
I know the views that Shashwat are given, so I've consciously stayed away from that
Yeah.
for this one. But maybe that's something we can touch more on. Since you guys have gone with United, I won't go with a United player. I'm just trying to think of who else stood out for me. And I think I'll go with Bajcetic from Liverpool, because I mean he was
Mm,
excellent against Newcastle, and without him that second goal doesn't happen. So I'll go with Bajcetic. I mean, yeah, probably you could pick a United player and you wouldn't go wrong. But I was thinking about Arsenal as well. If there was somebody that stood out for me, I think Odegaard was good in that
Really
second
no.
half, but I don't think he had a good game across the board. So I did like
Saka, we can.
Saka's goal was pretty good, but I don't think he did much aside from the goal and inside the push.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I don't think Rashford
has been, he has been so good over the last few weeks.
who has been sorry.
Yeah, Bastić,
Bajetic, yeah, Bajetic. Yeah, that's right.
Bajetic for Pool.
Liverpool
Yeah,
player.
he has been in amazing form.
Yeah, he's been the difference. His legs that he's brought in has been the difference. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Yeah. I actually don't think Rashford was the best player for United in that game. I think they were. I think it probably would be Bruno. My pick would actually be Bruno De Gea, who would probably be the player if I was to pick. But I can see why people go for Rashford. He's just in good form at the moment, isn't he? But but there's so many players to pick from, and that's I think what makes the Premier League the best league in the world. It is the most exciting one because it's got so much quality, so much star power across the league that it's fantastic to see. But yeah, that's where we are at. But anyway, smash like if you enjoyed that video. Of course, share your comments and your thoughts below, of course, and what you thought about the weekend, about the games. If there's something that you thought you don't agree with us or you agree with us, let us know. Of course, always love hearing from you guys. Shashwat, Sagar, thank you so much for joining the show. Really appreciate your thoughts and your insights. We love having you, and hopefully the next time we have you on the show won't be a year-long wait. Maybe we'll have you soon. You know what? We'll probably have Shashwat. We'll probably have Shashwat by something tells me we might have him back in May if Arsenal have won, if and when Arsenal win the league title.
For the title celebration.
Yes, yeah, maybe after he celebrated on his own, then we'll ask him to the show and they celebrate on me as well. Something tells me we might see him soon. But anyway, well, all the best to you guys. I know it's another big week of action. I mean, Arsenal are not in Europe right now. They're having a nice little break. But yeah, we got Barcelona for Manchester United coming up, and then of course the League Cup final as well. So it's a big weekend. But anyway, thank you so much for watching us. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you all again.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, we'll see you all very again. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.